Just starting on his music making career. He came to us because during lockdown he was doing a podcast with his friends called the How You Doing podcast, and they created a show for BCB Radio, and we played that out, but they do it on YouTube all the time, so you can check out their podcast on YouTube. Anyway, Luke submitted a track to us for track of the week, so we're hoping that's going to go out sometime, but we thought we'd catch up with him for a little talk about it himself and his music and how he's creating it and what he's doing. So I gave him a call earlier in the week, so apologies for the quality of this. It's a telephone recorded conversation with telephone on both sides for some strange reason, but so this is me talking to Luke, and I asked him to tell me a little bit about his track and how he made it.
Well, on that track I wanted it to have an emotional vibe, but a kind of upbeat vibe. So what I did was, with the melody, the piano, I kind of made it like slow at the start, but then it kind of builds up. And with the drums, it's like it's something that you can like kind of bop your head to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's a really good track. I think it sounds really professionally made. I mean, how do you go about like making a top quality track like that?
Well, I use my app Serato Studio, and I use a plug-in with my keyboard, and I just played some chords, add some effects to it, and that's about it. It was kind of simple to make, but yeah, it's I'm very proud of it, if I'm honest.
And that's all produced at home?
Yeah, I do it all on my computer.
Oh, fantastic. So tell us a bit about how you got into music. When did you first start making music?
Started making it about 3 to 4 years ago, but I've loved it like since a very young age. I've loved listening to it. I used to play on my granddad's guitar. I used to go on the keyboard and stuff like that. So I always loved music.
So always been tempted to kind of like, play on something that's around. Yeah.
I've loved everything to do with music.
And so what are your kind of influences? What music do you listen to when you're not making it?
I listen to a lot of grime, like Stormzy, but then I listen to a lot of Eminem as well. Okay,
great. And when you were younger, what were you listening to? Do you remember what kind of like first got you into music?
It's just the way you can express yourself through song, if you know what I mean. And it's just the way you can make it yourself as well. So you're basically self-made, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, that's really good. So I think recently you've started doing a bit of work with an organisation called All Star Ents, who do quite a lot with music and young people in the district. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, I got in touch with Ross through you, and he kind of just, we had a first Zoom call, and then he kind of told me all about the production, what he does with his youth organisation, and we got talking from there. Then he introduced me to Matt, who helps me with my lyrics and stuff like that. So without them, I wouldn't be doing a lot, to be honest.
Okay, so did this track go backwards and forwards with them? Did they give you some production tips, or? Yeah,
they did. They kind of taught me on not how to make it exactly. It's like how to make it flow. Mm-hmm. They taught me about the different melodies and stuff like that. They taught me how to add effects and stuff like that.
Well, that sounds good. And what about the lyrics? Because there aren't any lyrics on this particular track that we're going to hear in a minute. But so tell me a bit about the lyric writing.
Well, the lyric writing for me, I've always had a confidence issue. Like, I'd never really thought I could go places, like I could get myself out there. But with Matt and Ross, they've given me a confidence boost, and they've helped me writing my lyrics and how to flow it and how to deliver the lines and stuff like that. So I'm hoping within the next few weeks, I'll be hopefully getting some lyrics on the track.
Oh, great. Oh, well, we look forward to hearing that. That'd be good if that comes out. And so music isn't the only thing you do, because I know that during lockdown, you've been busy podcasting. Tell us a bit about your podcast.
Yeah, so about kind of the beginning to the middle of lockdown, me and my two mates, Owen and Liam, we created a podcast to kind of give people a positive during the whole thing, because I know it was all negative pretty much. And we talk about topics that relate to kids our age and some adults as well, and we kind of give our input and some facts on it as well. So it's something different through your daily routine. So you watch the news, it's all about COVID-19. Instead, you can just watch the podcast, chill, and listen to something else.
That's great. So what's the podcast called, and where can people see that if they want to?
It's called How's It Going Podcast, and you just type that in on YouTube, and then it's the first thing that comes up.
I can thoroughly recommend it. It's really good. And you did a special edition of it for BCB Radio, which I thought was a great little show. And what I particularly liked about it was you showcased some young musicians from the district, one of whom has been a regular feature on this show. So Lucy and Leela are prolific. They've got tracks out every other week. And so I think for the last 3 or 4 months, we've been playing a new track by Lucy Ingham, Lucy and Leela. And I just think they're great. That's really creative stuff. So I have to thank you for putting us onto that. It's really good. Any other top tips? Who else should we be listening to?
I'd recommend someone called James Spencer. I'll give him. Is it alright if I give him your email, because I think he's got proper talent.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
He also featured on that episode for BCB.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I remember that as well. So that's good. Great. Right. So we're going to play your track in a minute. Your track's called Buried. It's by Luke Coates, going under the name of Unexpected as your kind of like performing name. Thanks for sharing the track with us.
No worries.
Luke Coates there performing under the name Unexpected, and that's his track called Buried. It's not available